Have you ever canoed down a babbling brook?
No, but I have cried at a Taco Bell.
Oh, same thing. Listen up, campers.
It's time to buckle up, pitch a tent, and take a hike.
Because Camp Counselors is a variety show.
So prepare for a good old-fashioned kumbaya,
Weird news,
hot gossip,
and scary stories around the campfire.
so spooky.
Is this podcast even about camping?
No, but it is camp. This is Camp Counselors. Hey, happy campers! Welcome back to Camp Shady Birch.
It is week 105 here at camp.
I cannot believe it. I wish I could enter today with a lighter and brighter spirit.
Okay, let's bring it down.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Well, can I not bitch a little?
No, you can bitch. Take a hike is in like at least 45, so we might as well get some grievances out of the way now.
Well, I already had a pre-written take a hike that I'm not willing to get rid of because I love it, but something happened to me on the way to this podcast recording that I need to get off my chest.
Okay, please share with me.
Okay.
I don't know what you're about to say.
Yeah, I didn't share it with you. I was like, save it for the pod. We're such a content couple.
Oh my God, I know. We got to save it for the pod.
No, so I went to meet my friend Josh for coffee this morning for a little work meeting, and it was in Bushwick, so it wasn't terribly far from us. It was like a 2-mile walk, like 40 minutes. Good way to get your steps in for the day. So we had a great coffee, a great yap, and a great chat, and I'm on the way back, feeling light as a feather.
Stiff as a board.
Stiff as a board. I'm listening to my episode on Tinx's podcast. I'm literally slaying it. I'm so proud of myself.
Go listen to that episode. It's so fantastic. Sorry to cut you off, but like really great episode. Good job.
Yeah, like not to plug another podcast on this podcast, but I was like, sometimes I'm nervous to record on other people's podcasts because I want to come off the way that I feel comfortable. And that was the first time in a long time where I was like, no, I know I did good. And then I listened to it back and I said, wait, slay. So anyways, not the point of the story. So I'm listening to the podcast. I'm chuckling at my own jokes like a narcissist. And I'm crossing through this intersection. And on the corner was a corner store. And this man is exiting said corner store. And in his back pocket was a stack of, I would guess, maybe 10 $2 scratch tickets, specifically the ones that look like the crossword puzzles.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what ones I'm talking about? Almost like a Scrabble board, and you scratch the letter, and you have to match the letter.
Oh, see, that's where I just can't follow the rules like that. But I can picture it in my mind's eye.
It's crazy because this is truly my favorite scratch ticket of all time. And the campers who know, they just literally know exactly what I'm talking about. I can't explain it any further. Anyway, so there's probably about $20 worth of scratch tickets in this man's back pocket. And as he's exiting said store, he takes a step and all of them fall out of his pocket as he's like getting the keys to enter his vehicle, turning around his vehicle. So he couldn't see it. It was like behind the wheel or whatever. I am in such a good mood. I'm like, sir. Oh my God, you dropped your tickets. I get on basically my hands and knees like a dog to pick up this man's tickets. Okay. I get up, I give it to him. He starts laughing in my face. Full belly laughing in my face.
That you helped him?
I don't know what it is, but the defensive nature in me immediately was just so pissed. Fuck you. I should have kept your fucking tickets, you fucking moron. Okay? Like, you just lost $20. I could have come up on potentially millions of dollars, but I'm being a good Samaritan. You're going to laugh in my face? I said, I'm not doing anything good for the rest of the day. I'm leading with negative and a dark heart.
And sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you really do.
Isn't that weird?
That is so weird. So he wasn't like laughing at the situation like, oh, that's Earl for you. Typical Earl behavior. I'm always dropping shit.
If it was, I don't want to consider that. I just want to be upset because I felt like I have not had someone laugh in my face. It made me feel small and it hurt my feelings. And I walked away, walking a 14-minute mile. That's how fast I was walking. So upset.
I'm assuming he didn't say thank you.
No.
Okay, that's fucked.
I literally was like, oh, what? Are you good? And then I just like sped off.
You know what you could have done?
Took the tickets. That's what I could have made $1 million.
You could have done that. Or you could have like stepped on him and then drug him and scratched him all for him.
Yeah, but the way that he wouldn't have seen it, like maybe he would have checked his pockets in his car, but there's no way he would have saw it the way that he turned around the corner and they just fell out of his big jeans, his big saggy jeans that fit him inappropriately with his big beer gut hanging out.
Well, you know what? God was watching, so she saw, and like you're so going to heaven for that.
Well, no, because I swore about him the whole way home, so I think it didn't work out in my favor. But I just wanted to say that I was upset.
Well, you need to rise above. That's really what you need to do. And you're always really good at that. So you were a good person. Don't let his negative attitude dim your light and how you shine your grace upon the land from sea to shining sea.
I just am a little upset because I wanted to talk about scratch tickets, and I just feel like you're the wrong person to talk to about this.
Hate to agree with you, but I am. Well, let's talk about it.
I just really appreciate that form of scratch ticket because even if you lose with that one, it takes so long to complete that it does feel like a mini activity.
And you love an activity.
I do. And when I was growing up, my Nana, God rest her soul, Judy, the best woman I've ever met in my life, she at every holiday would put $1 scratch ticket underneath every dinner plate. And before we'd eat dinner, everyone would take their scratch ticket from underneath their plate and scratch it, the whole family. And I was like 6 years old, like pissing myself out of excitement. They had to put a towel down for me because I was so excited.
Because you're just pissing and slipping all over the place.
Oh my God, it was a wet whistle.
I picture in my head the ticket under the plate and then wait till everybody has their food on their plate and then like, okay, flip over your plates. There's a surprise underneath.
No, because we knew it was coming. It was like, okay, when they were like, everybody go sit down, it was like excited. And she'd have like pennies by the plates.
Wait, I have mommy hack. Where are my mommy listeners, campers? If you need your kids to finish vegetables, tape a scratch off ticket under their plate. Tell them once the food's on the plate and say, and you can have that scratch ticket once you're finished your vegetables. Hello, I could write a fucking book.
I'm excited by the idea of promoting gambling at a young age. I think it is the new wave of parenting. It's like we've moved on from gentle parenting and now we're doing vice parenting. So it's like if you don't want to give your kid whiskey, I understand, but maybe introduce them to gambling early on.
Oh my God.
Baby poker, I think could be really fun. I would love to watch a baby poker league.
For our new listeners, we are joking.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that I don't buy scratch tickets because I think that if I did, it would be a slippery slope for me. Because every time I think about it, I just get excited. So I thought by me picking up those tickets, I was really, really being the hero. And I think it just kind of tainted my view on them. So maybe it was a good sign because now I don't even want to touch the things.
Well, I think you're a hero. You're still a hero to me. What's your weapon of choice? Are we using a penny? Are we using a key? Are we using our thumbnail?
Oh, well, when you're scratching with your nail, you're down bad.
Yeah.
When you have that blue and gray tartar under your nail beds, no, like you've made a bad call and you didn't even win. You thought you were close, but you were missing that 7. I prefer a dime, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, it's good for
the precision of the smaller coins.
but it gets on all those ridges.
Once again, I don't think you've ever scratched a ticket because what ridges are you thinking about?
On a dime.
Oh, okay.
A dime is 10, right?
I thought you meant the ridges of a scratch ticket.
No.
I'm like, what was this, the tabernacle?
No, nobody's using a nickel.
No.
Trucking right along. Let's talk about the last thing that we went to.
Oh, the Golden Bachelorette.
So campers, we did talk about the Golden Bachelor when the show first came out. We didn't do a lot of coverage on it. We just kind of set our piece at the beginning and we were loving the contestants, specifically Joan. And now she's the new Golden Bachelorette.
To catch you up to speed, if you missed last season, Joan was kind of a front runner from the very beginning, but midway through the season, her daughter, right before production started to film, had given birth and she was having a really hard time transitioning. And she was just like mentally, I think she had like a lot of postpartum issues. So her daughter called her mom and she was like, listen, like before anything else, I am a mother and I need to go home and take care of my daughter. And it was a very like I don't know, it was like heartfelt but sad, but like I got it and everyone understood and like she left the show essentially.
Yeah.
So when she was leaving the show on such a high by choice because of this, I instantly turned to you and said, oh my God, this is such the perfect setup for her to be chosen as the Golden Bachelorette. Lo and behold, we've met our new Golden Bachelorette and her name is Joan and I'm just so happy for her. So ABC reached out to my team this week and was like, would Zachary like to come? And I said yes in a heartbeat and we went there this week. I took a tea party.
Yeah, it said high tea and the attire was high tea. Also, really quick, like when we talk about the things that we went to and the things that we did, it's not sponsored. Like we're not sitting here like being sponsored by this. We're just going to talk about our experience. I just want to say that.
Yeah, I haven't seen the show, but I love when Disney or ABC reaches out for anything. So sponsor me if you want, I'll take it. So no, it was fun. But the attire was high tea. Campers, think about that, please, because I've seen some of you show up to the mess hall and it's not giving high tea. It's giving lowbrow.
I was going to say lowbrow. We're so on the same page. But I was like, okay, a high tea, I can kind of see it in my mind's eye. Like it's Claude Monet, Bridgerton ass is what I'm thinking. But I don't know what a man is supposed to wear to that. I don't think I've ever seen an oil painting of a man at high tea. Maybe I'm just not, going to the Met enough.
No, it's cream of tartar suits. It's beige, it's pastel, and it's everything that we don't own. Not me wearing a pastel shirt right now, but this is Peloton, and it's basically athleisure because I'm not working out, and y'all know that. So yeah, and I'm like, I knew it was high tea, but the way that our schedules are is like we're just trying to put out fires the day of, so I don't ever think ahead. So when the day came, I looked at my wardrobe and said, why do I dress like a homeless 45-year-old man? Like I don't own anything high tea.
No, and I don't know why we would, but
my
now
NASCAR
we would.
big T? Oh my God. So what did I do, guys?
You panicked and you yelled and you said, come upstairs. And then I helped you figure it out. And I thought you looked great, but also it was like 90 degrees that day. And we had a little lull in the temperature. So I was like, I'm going to wear black pants. I'm going to wear my loafers. I'm going to wear this green shirt, which is a short sleeve. It kind of looks like a lampshade. What would you call that?
I wouldn't say lampshade, but when you think it is kind of lampshade-ish.
It's like crimped almost. I'm not sure, but it proved to be not breathable and extremely long. So I had to like tuck it in. My sleeves, the short sleeve was down to like...
That's the point of it. It's oversized.
It was like the calf of my arm.
I love that shirt. It's a lucky shirt for me.
Well, I put that on. I was sweating. You were running to go get your hair cut.
Yeah, my barber, no one cares. And the thing is, like, why would you care? Because why would you care about my hair routine? I don't have great hair, and y'all know that about me. But yeah, I had hair issues. Should I continue to bitch on this show? Like, all I've been doing so far is just bitching and bitching. So here I go again. I'll just be the bitch police today. We. That's all I'm going to do. Cry and complain. Yeah, here's another bitch for you guys, another gripe. I had to go to a different barber, and he was an asshole. And it's hard to go to guys, some of you bitches out here, that was rude. Some of you campers out here, you've been going to the same hairdresser for 15 years. You know why? Because it's comfortable. Does she do the best highlights? No. Are her lowlights trash? Yes. You said balayage to her once and she said, what does that mean? But you go because you know her and it's easy. So when I had to go somewhere new, it was stressful and it was a bad haircut and I'm sweating in my Zara patterned furry shirt and I show up to a high tea event sweating in corduroy shorts, campers. No one's legs were out. Only my calves were out and I'm sweating so ridiculous. I felt ridiculous.
Well, you didn't look ridiculous. You looked great. You looked very much in place.
Not tea attire.
Well, now we know what high tea attire is. I still couldn't put it into words for you. If you're visually watching, maybe I'll throw up an inspiration board here. I don't know. But we showed up to the event and we go to walk in.
And who did we see?
Joan herself.
It was the craziest thing ever because they said invite for 4. So I'm like, I'm going to show up Fashion Me Late at 4:08. And we get there and Joan is with her publicist directly at the entrance of this event. And I just look like shit. I feel like shit. And she's like, she looks like a knockout, personality on 100, so excited and happy to be there. And she's like, hi, how are you? I'm Joan. And I just didn't expect it. So I felt so stupid and flustered. I'm like, hello. I felt like a little gnome, like a little weird wet gnome.
When I say we literally like stumbled in there and she was right there, we were checking in, like giving our name and everything. And then we turned to the right and she's literally right at the doorway. And you did it really cutely. I think in your head it played out way differently than it did to me. So I'm not going to take that away from you. However, it really just looked like you were like, oh, hi. Oh my gosh. Hi. It's so nice to meet you. And then we chatted with her for a minute.
The thing is, I'm such a fan of the show. Like I don't watch Bachelor, but I would watch the Golden Bachelor and I just had such an excited reaction when she was picked. So I just wanted my first interaction with her to be a little bit cooler. No one ever looks at me and says, oh, he was so cool. It's like, oh, he was a lot. And the lot is good. And that's just who I am. And I'm okay with that. But it's like at some point, when will I learn to just calm down? I can't. I'm literally so high strung. I like if I could take an edible, I would, but that will cause me another anxiety attack. It's like nothing works for me. I'm just a ball of anxiety and craziness. I'm a gerbil that went through like a storm drain and somehow survived in the sewers of New York. And I have one eye now and I'm just clapping to try to get through
Why are
here.
you clapping?
Because I can't see. The tunnel's dark and I'm clapping to find
sonar ass.
Well, you got to try something when you're a wet gerbil. I don't know. That's who I am.
Well, be kind to yourself, mama, because that's why people like you. You are who you are. Like, yeah.
Well, she liked us.
She loved us.
She actually did.
She was so sweet. For a minute? She was so genuine, and it really just felt like we were talking to like a normal ass person, which is sometimes hard to find in New York and the industry that we go to certain events for. But she was so kind, and she was like, I really thought that this situation of me being on season 1 was going to be something fun that I told at a party. I just live in Maryland. Now, look at us. And I'm like, girl, like, you are killing it. You're doing great. You were so beloved. And when I told her she was beloved, she was almost like, what? I was like, no, come on. Like, you were beloved. And she was being so genuine and like, thank you so much. You're so sweet.
No, you're so right, because she said exactly that. She was like, I'm just a grandmother from Maryland. I never thought this would go this far. And it's like the world picked the right one with her. She was so sweet. And then after we had that horrendous interaction from my perspective, being embarrassed, I was like, I want to redo. So I went up to her again. I was like, can we take a selfie together? She was like gagging and gooping. And even on the way out, she was talking to some girls and I was like, Joan, like, bye girl. And she was like, love you. She DM'd us after. Yeah. We follow each other. She did a photo dump from the event and she chose a photo of the 3 of us in it. Like, she's a fan of us.
Cute. It was so sweet. I think it was because we were like treating her normal. We weren't like running up to her and like licking her asshole. We were just being for real.
Also, we were the only men at this event, you guys. There was 2 other guys there, but they were working on the press team as invited guests. We were the only men there. And a woman came up to us that was like, she was like, oh, I didn't expect to see men here. She's like, I thought this was going to be like at a women's only, but then it was almost implying that she was going to meet men. And I was like, well, we're both gay. So
yeah, but she was like in the Upper East Side and she was very fashionable. So I don't think she didn't think that we were straight. I think she was thinking, oh, maybe this is a Golden Bachelorette where they're trying to, which would be a fun event if it's like a
mixer.
Yeah. Oh my God. That would be fun.
That would have been fun, but the marketing dollars have to go towards the influencers. So we talk about it and stuff like this.
For real.
We're talking about it because we actually do love it. And I have not seen the episode yet, but tonight I'm so excited, you guys. It's like the end of the week. Jonathan and I have been hustling and bustling our little booties all week long. And we still have some more work to get done today, but it's Friday night and I'm so excited to stay in with you and just eat and enjoy TV and just celebrate that we've done so much and we kept the ball rolling this week. So we will watch it. And I think if it's worth talking about, we'll continue to bring it up. But we haven't seen it yet. So I'll let you know how we feel.
Yeah. But speaking of eating and all that, there comes the part where I started to feel really out of place. When we sit down at high tea, sometimes I just don't want know what to do with my hands. I don't want to be sitting on my phone because obviously we're taking pictures and then we're like posting while we're there just because that's why we're there to do it. Mm-hmm. And eating finger sandwiches, grabbing them off of the trivet with my fingers, not noticing there's tongs there. I'm eating a bowl of berries that's sitting in front of me when someone at the table remarks, are those the communal berries? I had my fork in the communal berry bowl, which I had placed on my plate. I don't know what I was thinking. How like I feel so fucking stupid and dumb, and I was like so embarrassed. I was like, oh my God.
But it wasn't a communal berry bowl. We all had our own bowl. That was the end of the conversation there.
Oh. Okay, well then I guess all is well.
Have you lived this entire week thinking you ate out of the communal berry bowl?
Yes.
No, they gave us all little saucers. That's what she said after. She was like, oh, I thought that was, but now I see that we all have our own berries.
Oh my God.
Well, you know why you feel that way?
Wait. I feel like, I just took a breath and that felt different. Are you for real or are you saying that to make me feel better?
I am being dead ass with you. I have photos of the tables and you can see that everyone has their own little like gray bowl of berries.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. So it's interesting how your perspective of how you entered the party with a siren on your hat going, wah, 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 wah. And me thinking, I'm literally grabbing finger sandwiches with my dirty phalanges.
Well, you were doing that. You were doing it.
Okay,
there was tongs. But there was tongs.
Yeah, but there were tongs. But like, yeah. And I was thinking that I'm eating out of the communal berry bowl and everybody at the table was judging me. I have been living with that for a minute.
No, I know. And I'm glad I can clear that up for you.
My shoulders are like chill now. I feel relaxed.
The thing is, that was our first time, correct me if I'm wrong, both at a high tea situation.
I have never been. I've always wanted to take my American Girl doll, but I've never had an American Girl doll.
I will say it is quite gorgeous.
It was so lovely. Very well put together.
They love like a stacked platter of some good sandwiches, and they're all very soft. Like you don't have to chew much at these events. You almost can swish around.
Well, because it is aimed like towards old ladies, especially in the UK.
That was fresh.
Well, no, I'm saying in the UK specifically where it comes out, everyone can have a little high tea, but it's nice on the gums, you know? You're not serving rock candy.
Well, what were the little biscuits called? Why am I thinking scones?
A scone, which is almost a stone.
What was the thing that was served at the table that I said to you 100 times in bed last night and you kept getting mad at me for saying it?
Clotted cream.
Do you guys know what that is? I'm still not quite sure, but it was on the table. Is it butter? Is it cream? Well, butter is cream.
I thought it was just whipped butter. I have no idea what clotted cream is, but
when
it
you
sounds
put the
like
cream in the mason jar and you shake it, that's how you make butter. So I think it's almost like
that's buttermilk is what's left. It produces butter and buttermilk.
Clotted cream. It's clotting the arteries for sure.
I don't know. I think you may have made that up.
No, babe, it's real. I fact checked it. It was on the table. Neither of us partook because one of the girls selfishly put it next to her plate and I was embarrassed to ask for it. So I was forced to put raspberry jam on my scone, which was delicious. But you know me, a custard girl wants to try the clotted cream. Never been in an environment where I've even been able to even get it. But here I was. Custard girl, president of the United States, me, having the opportunity to have clotted cream, and Miss Girl from, what was it, dailybeast.com.
Watch it.
Well, I like her, but she was hoarding the clotted cream.
You simply had to ask for it because I wasn't asking for anything after I thought I ate the berries.
Babe, I had 4 mini sandwiches. I had 2 scones. I was woofing things down like a wolf.
I wanted to eat that smoked salmon finger sandwich so bad because I'm going to go talk. You want me to go talk to the Golden Bachelorette Joan of Arcadia with salmon breath?
That's the thing. That's the difference between you and me. Like, they could literally put out an onion stew at like a black tie event, and if it looks good, I'm eating it.
And then you're leading into Joan like, hi, I'm Zachariah.
I don't think it really carries on me like that. I don't think I'm an odorous guy, but maybe I am.
You're not. And if it does, I will be the first to let you know.
I wish you would have enjoyed it. Those sandwiches were so good that when they went to the top of your mouth, like they almost just stuck there. They were that soft.
On the roof of your mouth, even though it's the ceiling of your mouth.
It's a classic case of tomato. Either way, I'm clogged. I'm clotted cream clogged.
Wait, can we talk about the activity? I'm going to talk about the activity that they gave us. So they give us these little cards when we sit down, very cute. And they're doing a giveaway. I love a giveaway. I love a raffle. I love a bingo haul. You know me. So the challenge was you write on this little piece of paper what your ideal date would be. Once again, I'm an idiot and I'm like, okay, handsome, tall. And they're like, no, date like activity. And I'm like, okay, thank you for the clarification because that would have been mortifying yet again. But the clarification was made and they had a little riddle at the top. Not a riddle, a rhyme. And it said the start of like, tell me about the perfect day. Maybe I'll meet you for a matinee. And you're supposed to finish the thing, right? So I'm like, okay, this is so in my wheelhouse. I stopped talking to everybody for a solid 6 minutes, maybe 7. I don't know. But I have my little pen and I'm getting to work. I'm not using ChatGPT. I'm using my own noggin. So I'm doing the noodle dance, trying to figure out what I'm going to write. And I think I have it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to write this down. It's going to be a rhyme. It's going to be like have the exact same amount of syllables as the one before. So if you read it in its entirety, it could be a standalone piece. A haiku, probably not. I don't remember the stanzas, but I'm writing this down and I'm like, this is such a good idea. You write yours down. And I'm like, we're not going to tell each other what they are. Photographer comes over. She's like, I'm going to take a picture of that. I say, oh my God, that's embarrassing. It looks like I wrote this with my toes, which it did. And then she continues to read mine out loud to the whole table. So I'm like, okay, cool. There goes my blown cover, but it's, I'm still going to win. Everybody had already put their things in the envelopes and we're turning them into the principal while she walks around with her little basket to collect our tithe. What did you write down?
I won't embarrass myself because mine didn't get picked clearly. So,
well, I wrote down, we could feed a duck in the park and kiss until dark. And I think that is cute.
That's all you wrote for your date was look at ducks and make out in the night? It needed a little more than that, babe.
Suffices to say, they begin to call the winners. Joan herself said she's picking 3 people, and the winning prize is to go see Aladdin on Broadway, which was being announced the next day, but she let us know that she was going to be in it, which congratulations, Joan, love that for you. And I was excited. I was like, okay, well, I got to clear out my schedule because we're going to see that this week, because clearly I got this, it's in the bag. Like, what are you talking about? I'm a lyrical genius like John Lemon. So they call the last winner. Who stands up? None other than Eleni. Our friend Eleni, who I did not even see walk in. Yes, we were on the same volleyball team together. You guys have heard the lore of Eleni. Homegirl was not even invited to this, and she won. She goes up, she gets her bag of what I'm assuming is my Mary Kay products or whatever the fuck was in there. And she walks back with a shit-eating grin, giving me a smile, because I think she knew I would want to win this. And she sat down, and it was... God put his healing hand on my soul, because I didn't get up, even though I wanted to, but I didn't win, and I was pissed for a minute.
I love you. I love the rhyming idea. You had to keep going. Why would you think feeding ducks and making out was enough?
It was a business card. I can't write a novel, a telenovela.
2 more lines to really wrap it up with, like, some cheese and wine. All good love in due time. I don't know, like, just something. I look at that. That was pretty good. I just came up with it.
Well, sorry you weren't in the writer's room.
You know, it's crazy. So ABC is owned by Disney, and they own Hulu too. So Joan was in the Aladdin on Broadway as a small role as like the fortune teller in one scene for press for the show. And it's just crazy that, like, that's how powerful Disney is. Like, they're like, oh, we'll take the Golden Bachelorette and we'll just throw her on a matinee on Broadway for fun. It's like, that's just like so cool and powerful that they can do that. And Joan is just a beautiful grandmother with an amazing heart that's on this show, and she's just being thrown into this amazing world. I just want to reiterate, she just was so sweet. And look at us. We're like, cloud and cream, we didn't win. I am sweaty. I am ugly.
It was a hoot and hollering good time. They give us a little, not a compass. What is it called? Like a clamshell mirror.
Yeah.
A compact. Thank you to myself. And I had you take the picture of me. That was very, who was that? Who posted?
Carly Kloss.
Carly Kloss, looking camp right in the eye.
Well, speaking of looking at camp right in the eye, welcome to the show, campers. Buckle in. Attention, campers. Please meet at the old flagpole under the tall pine for morning announcements. Welcome back to morning announcements, campers. This is the part of the show where we read news articles to you that you might have missed that we want you to spread like wildfire. So much is in the media cycle and so much is so boring. So we try to keep it fun and light and something that you can spread at.
Spread like clotted cream.
Well, that made sense, but I was thinking, like,
over the scone of your life.
What's the water thing called at the office?
Oh, the water cooler.
Water cooler. Well, it doesn't matter. The bit's gone. The joke has disappeared, and I feel foolish. Take it away, John.
Okay, so I have a little story for you guys. This is coming from New York Post. It's by Yvonne Juris, and the title of it is Lego Stuck in Arizona Resident's Nose for 26 Years. Finally dislodged. I can smell in colors now.
26 years?
This is crazy. So an Arizona resident named Norton Havoc, 32, who identifies as they, them, shared a shocking story on Instagram, mentioning that for years they have endured multiple breathing issues that included asthma, as well as a diagnosis for obstructive sleep apnea. So the Instagram handle is, oh, I hope I wrote that down right, Big Oompa Loompa.
Okay.
It's like Oompa Loompa, but with an I before the last A. So I watched this video.
Oompa Loompa.
Oh, thank you. Oompa Loompa. Yeah. What is wrong with me? A lot. Don't answer that. So basically, when they were 6 in the 90s, you know the little Lego piece that's like, it's like a small circle. It looks like a plate upside down. And it's kind of like if you had an airplane or something, it would be like the light on the front of it or the top of it. It's a super tiny piece. It's just as big as the circles that you connect them with.
When you were saying this, I thought to myself, what piece would it be? And that was the first one I thought of. But yes. I thought it was gray.
No, this one was
yellow.
It was either yellow or orange. I don't know what color it was when it went in, but when it came out. So when they were 6 years old, had stuck it up their nose and then panicked and then tried to send in like a recon mission, Lego man thinking that, you know, the top would connect to the hat. Well, then the Lego man's little head came off. So now it's a Lego head and the second piece up there. And they're freaking out and crying and screaming for their mom. And their mom comes over with tweezers, sees the situation, pulls the head out. They act like that is the only thing that had happened because they didn't want to get in trouble. Didn't mention that there was another piece that was up there to begin with. Obviously forgot about it. Grew up. That was literally like 1990. I think it was 6.
Forgot about it?
Yeah. And then it came back as something
Forgot
else later.
about it?
Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense to me either. Maybe it was always in the back of their head, quite literally, lodged in their nose since they were 6 years old, which is absolutely bonkers to me.
Bonkers.
So they're from Arizona and was saying that the doctor was having recent they were having a lot of recent breathing problems. And then the doctor was like, why don't you blow your nose in the shower? I can't blow my nose in the shower. That like grosses me out.
Oh my God, I blow my nose in the shower every day.
Just like into your hand?
Yeah, and it's like I don't get grossed out because first of all, it's my body and my body's not gross. So if you're calling me gross and you're being fresh, but who cares? It's like rinse it off. I'm using soap actively.
Okay, that's fine. That's valid, but
it's great because it releases all the steam and the heat. It's like, and then I like come out
right.
and I'm like, wait, I'm like a Barbie doll. I'm so hot.
So crazy to say.
Was that weird?
No, not at all.
I meant like just like so like
Yeah, no, I got it.
Okay, I'm just gonna not speak the rest of the show.
No, I love that. That was good. That was cute. But basically, in this one shower, they blew their nose and outshot the little Lego piece. And
it
it
took one blow?
Immediately came back to mind. Well, I think they had gotten like some treatment done. I don't know the specificities of this, but this is what the New York Post is saying, and I watched the video, so I heard it directly from the horse's mouth themselves. Quote, today I was blowing my nose in the shower, and lo and behold, I blew out a Lego dot that has been stuck in my head for at least 26 years. And I don't know what to think of this. I can breathe out of this side of my nose now, and it's fantastic. That's got to be crazy. Growing up your whole life and not being able to fully breathe out of your nose. Like, how far up there was it lodged?
Probably very far. Also, I wonder if they kept it. I definitely would have kept it.
Well, at the end of the video, they put it into a little baggie that was labeled Lego, just in case, and said they were going to go to the doctor and, quote, talk about this. I don't know what there is to talk about, but it's like, what'd you look at this, doc? They're like, that's really crazy. Blow your nose more often.
Yeah, I think it's pretty crazy that one blow was able to dislodge it. It's like, what have you been doing your whole life? Have you ever seen me with allergies? I'm blowing till the cows come home.
What is that thing where you shove it up your
neti
nose?
pot.
Neti pot. Yeah, do a little neti pot. That could have really helped.
This seemed like negligence by user era.
That's pretty much all there is. They finally let go of this lodged toy was how it ended.
Well, speaking of that, I have a lot of friends that are in the medical field, and it's incredible what people put up their assholes. Mm-hmm. And it's like you talk to any ER nurse, any doctor, they all have a story of someone putting something very foreign up their ass.
You got to find something with a stopper or a wide base campers if you're going to do it.
Well, it could break off. You never know. There's a couple different things that could happen there, but that's not the point of that story, was it?
Shampoo bottle, a mini shampoo bottle.
Oh, that's creative.
Yeah, just thinking outside of the box. No, it wasn't me. Well, it wasn't me. I go to the doctor. I'm like, it wasn't me.
Yeah.
Like, why do you have a Buzz Lightyear thing shoved up your ass with the wings open?
It's like the bubble wand. It's spinning.
It's coming out of my mouth. It's coming out of my nose.
The thing is, if you have something up your ass and you go to the doctors, you can't say it wasn't me. It's like, no, but it was you. Like, that's what happened here.
Man had Lego shoved up his ass for 26 years and didn't know.
That's going to be your story, apparently.
New York Post hit me up. Yeah, so that is my tale. I think I read, New York Post. I gave the accolades at the beginning. Were you like a nose shover upper when you were a kid?
No, I was a mouth boy. I put a marble in my mouth and I swallowed it and I almost died. I had to go to the hospital. I literally was purple, and my dad threw me over his knee, my stomach over his knee at full force when I was like 4 years old. And the marble came up into a place where it was floating in my trach, but I could still breathe a little bit. And then the ambulance came and they rushed me to the hospital, and they were able to, it was safer for them to push it into my stomach.
Oh my God, than to
but I was purple.
Oh my God.
I literally almost died. Yeah.
I knew that you had swallowed a marble, but I didn't know it was like that.
Yeah. And then my parents had to
Serious.
sift through my poop for 2 weeks until it came out. But I don't think it took 2 weeks, but it took a long time. And they'd be like, every day I poop, I'd be like, Dad, go check for marble.
Get the forks. Start shredding the pork.
Okay.
Sorry, that was really graphic. But we had talked about that with your friends who have kids. And what was that thing that I bought? Because we were talking about it enough where it's like if you're choking and you're home alone, I freaked out.
Life vac.
Life vac. Campers, look it up.
It saved Mike the situation, son.
Yeah. Oh my God. There you go. Just to have one in your house. You know, I bought 2, and there's one that you can practice on. I haven't opened it yet.
We should practice on it.
We should open it at least because in case of emergency. But you know where it is. It's like in the kitchen. It's in the little cabinet. So if we're ever here and we're like choking, the other one's now. Yeah, it's worth, the peace of mind. I never shoved anything up my nose. A kid in elementary school, Raul, had put a pencil in his ear in Miss Lavernier's class. And when he pulled it out, the metal and the pink eraser were not attached to the pencil.
And that sucks so much to be a parent because like the first thing I think of is like, okay, what's the copay? What's the downtime here? I have to call the boss, have to get time off of work because you're just being a little dickwad. It's like, God. For you parents out there, my heart, my soul, you're doing the Lord's work because it just sounds like a nightmare. Through and through, kids are just so much.
They just want to stick things in their noses and their ears.
You don't know.
My cousin went to the hospital because he shoved a Skittle up there. That was like the whole hullabaloo. And I was so young at that time. I was like, I'm never doing anything like that. And I didn't. Unless it's an AirPod, I'll stick that in my nose just to see if I can hear it in my head.
You probably can.
You can't. I tried. So what's your story? What are you talking about?
My story is from Sydney, Australia. This week.
Thanks, Sid.
From 7 News Australia. The article is by Molly Magennis. The title is Sydney Homeowners Ingenious Solution to People Peeing in His Driveway. So a Sydney homeowner who has become fed up with the late night drinkers using his property as a makeshift toilet has taken matters into his own hands, setting up an ingenious and so far very effective wee trap. For far too long, Stephen Bodner from Waverley in Sydney has had to deal with the inebriated individuals using his driveway as a place to relieve themselves. Men and women alike have stumbled from nearby pubs, the Charing Cross Hotel and the Robin Hood Hotel, and onto his property for years, leaving an unpleasant reminder of their visit.
Okay, so this is like a downtown area.
It's very downtown. There's like 2 apparently very popular Waverley bars, and he's like in the middle of them.
Oh, Waverly Place. In my head, I'm picturing like Keith and Keem, like their suburban neighborhood. I'm like, why is someone pissing on his driveway? What did he do?
No, yeah,
okay,
no, it's not like downtown Sydney, but it's like a suburb of Sydney that's like
has alleyways and stuff.
Well, I think the driveway, yeah, kind of. There's pictures if you're watching on YouTube, and I think it makes more sense the geographic, but it's like a taller building and then like a cement driveway with like a kind of higher wall, so it does kind of feel like an alley.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's an apartment building.
Got it. I guess. So a little Pravasi.
Yeah, exactly. So he said the worst was when I'd go away out to dinner or something and then drive into my driveway and they'd wee right where the door was. It was an unpleasant feeling. I can't believe that someone would leave a pub with a bladder full of urine and not realize they just walked past the toilet to get there. That's his whole thing. He's like really pissed. He's like, y'all are at the bar. There's bathrooms at the bar. Why are you walking out literally 50 feet and pissing on my house?
He's pissed.
I've never been that guy to pee out. I would be too scared.
No, I did it one time in Philly during a parade because they had, I think it was like the World Series, maybe. One of the sports games won big time and there were no bathrooms. It was like in the middle of the city. And that's kind of like what everybody was doing. Somebody threatened to call the cops. Nobody called the cops. I'm like, where you think they're going to come all the way over here in this crowded ass alleyway to stop me from peeing, which by the time they get here, I'm going to be done. Okay. So please turn away.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
My sister's, she's done that a lot.
I've only done that once.
She's always like laughing when she does it because she's usually like lit.
Just like in the streets?
No, she'll just like, I've been with her and she's been like drunk and she's like, I gotta go. And then she like darts into an alley. She comes out and she's like, woo! I'm like, okay, cat. So finally fed up, the electrician decided to install a $3,000 sprinkler and CCTV system to keep any perpetrators away, and it so far is working like a charm. He said, I've had no other option than to take matters into my own hands, I think. The deterrent includes a motion detector, which triggers a light, and then a 3-minute downpour between the hours of 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. It will go straight off whether I'm here or on the other side of the world. The Robin Hood Hotel owner, Daniel Witten, said he had previously offered a solution to the problem, but was turned down. We offered to pay for a gate so that people actually couldn't go into his property, but that was declined at the time. Well, I get it. Like, he doesn't want a gate. It's like, I don't want a gate for my driveway either. That's just so annoying. Because what do you do? In often busy street, there's like, it's like the sidewalk and then his thing. So it's like, he'd have to like get out of his car. No, he doesn't want. And he did put up 2 chains. And people were just kind of going in between the chains, like a drag chain. Oh,
well, then maybe he should have just put like a gate up. Well, at least they offered.
He doesn't want a gate.
I know, but at least they offered something. They should offer to pay for the sprinkler system, honestly.
Well, also, I do think, why was it $3,000? I don't think, that seems crazy. That seems really high.
Maybe it's in Australia, Austrabucks.
Yeah, it could have been an Austrabucks. Why did we not think it could have been an Austrabucks?
I don't know what the conversion rate is.
I'm not sure either. Or maybe he needed to like add a water line. But I've seen the footage. He had like 8 clips in the news of people's face blurred out of them just pissing on his property because he already had cameras before. Yeah. And then he had like another 6 clips of different people getting the sprinklers on. The way this man is not being dramatic about how many people are pissing on his property, if he can pull that many clips, he has had more issues. Because he put the cameras up as a way to like stop them, but that wasn't stopping them.
No, they're
like
with
the floodlight on, they didn't care.
Yeah, they're like, what are you gonna do? I just have to empty my bladder.
No, people are just so nasty there. So
no, that is nasty.
It's working fine. He's happy with the outcome, so I'm happy for him. I think it's kind of like tongue in cheek, you know. It's a couple mates.
Yeah, and if God forbid somebody did pee on the ground, it's gonna be washed away.
The minute they step out there, it's like instant, like. So it's funny. Men in suits, men with shirtless, like it's all kinds of people.
And then you're damp.
Yeah, and then you're damp and you feel silly.
Guys, don't piss on the side of the cabins. I've been noticing a pattern between cabin 8 and 9. So we would appreciate it if you just knock it off, please. We cannot afford the $3,000 in Austrabucks to install said sprinkler system. That was a lot of S's.
Yeah, and we're a mossy campground, and we're seeing that some of the moss is getting these yellow patches, and it's in areas that Scoop Marie isn't there. So she's not allowed over there. So we know it's you campers, and I know that cabins 8 through 9 are severely far away from the bathrooms, but you guys paid a lower entrance fee. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So go in the lake like everybody else.
If you want a premium cabin
that has indoor plumbing and AC and a color TV and a VCR. Yeah, become a counselor. Those are the perks that we got.
Grab your bug juice and bear spray, campers. It's time to pack it up and take a hike.
Welcome back to Take a Hike. This is the part of the show where we beat you a little bit more than we did before and tell something to take a hike.
That's it.
So what am I telling to take a hike? Let me set the scene, clear the stage, turn on the lights, because here we go. We were at Sugarfish. And for those who don't know, Sugarfish, it's like a sushi place. How would you describe Sugarfish?
Fake omakase.
You cannot ask for extra rice. They don't like for you to like dip the sushi into the soy sauce or pour the soy sauce onto the sushi, one or the other. So of course I'm like struggling to dip my hot rice on my cold sushi like into the thing. It's coursed. Yeah, and it's coursed and like everybody's eating at different times. It's kind of crazy. We just wanted sushi. We didn't need that environment. Anyway, I'm dipping my stuff into my sushi into the soy sauce and it's falling apart. It's just, and maybe that's why they don't want you to do it. But my take a hike
probably though, yeah,
goes out to dipping food in a sauce and the food falling apart. Mainly burritos. I've had this happen far too many times. We ordered from around the corner. Absolutely fabulous burritos. I would suggest it, but I just said it was around the corner, so don't go there. But I was enjoying a nice burrito and I was dipping it in the hot sauce. Sometimes their hot sauce is a little too hot for me. But I go to take a bite and all of the shit that was in my burrito is now in my sauce.
Yeah.
I hate it. It makes me feel gross. I'm not the type of person, I don't need to keep my food separated. You know, like I don't need zoo pals. You know, like at Thanksgiving, I'm okay if the food touches each other.
I want a zoo pal.
Well, maybe we'll get you. They're not around anymore.
Oink, oink,
Zoo pals. Nay, zoo pals. I'm always struggling with dipping my food. Like if you're talking to me, I'm sorry, but I'm telling you now, like it's in one ear, out the other.
I can tell.
Yeah, I'm just like focusing so hard on making sure whatever is inside the food that I'm dipping is not falling into the dip because it's happening far too frequently and something's got to give. You know, that old saying, it's like, take with you only memories and leave behind only footprints.
That's so your mom.
Yeah. I don't know how that relates here, but somehow it does. Campers, use your imagination, piece it together. And I'm just leaving behind a whole bell pepper and a half-bitten shrimp into my verde sauce.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
I don't know what it would look like because I'm not an inventor.
Are you going to say an edible net?
No.
Okay.
That my mind was not going to edible net.
Yeah.
I don't even know how that relates.
Yeah.
I was thinking of some sort of sauce holder because what you're referring to with the burrito specifically is they give you a plastic ramekin filled with the sauce and you're dipping into the ramekin. How do we create a sauce that a restaurant can fill that is then transferred to the consumer that has some sort of spigot that then can be drizzled onto the burrito to be bitten into?
Oh, what about...
What? Do you know what I'm talking about? Like a
Yes.
watering can for sauces.
Yes. What about... Okay, you know when you have your...
Yes.
Oh, wait, maybe Kira, she just had her wisdom teeth removed.
She has dry sockets because she's using a straw.
Well, that's her own problem. But what they give you...
She goes, I'm drinking slowly.
The syringe that has the point on it. Yeah, maybe we just need a little syringe, like a plastic
that is
one.
so medical. I'm not having medical burritos. That's so weird.
Well, I'm just being solution oriented here and I'm really trying to think of something.
The tech is there. We need to revamp the way that it's being positioned because if you give me a syringe of honey mustard, I'm going to freak out.
Really quick, while we're bitching again, when we were at Sugarfish, I had to pee so bad. Where was that guy's wall when I needed it? I go to the back of the restaurant. Did you use the bathroom there?
No.
So I go to the back of the restaurant and I can see there's a little sign on the door. And I'm like, great, this is going to be complicated. It's a bougie place. It's kind of like stuck uppy, whatever. It's right next. It's what you think of in a Manhattan crammed restaurant. Okay. Everybody's on top of each other. I'm like, my waist is dragging across some lady's awful updo that she's sitting next to the bathroom door. Right. And it says pull. It's a sliding door. So I knock. The restaurant's so loud, I can't tell if anybody's on the other side of it. So I go to pull and it's not pulling. And then the guy at the table's like, oh, no one's in there. So I'm like, thank you so much. Okay, now all eyes are on me with a full audience. I can't figure out how to open the fucking door. And that's when I ran back to the table and I said, we have to leave. And then we tried to leave. We got in an Uber and the Uber was an electric car and the Uber shut off in the middle of the street. That was so scary. We don't have to get into details of that because I'm derailing too much, but that was a crazy night.
When you get embarrassed, you instantly need to leave a situation. Like we're on the cruise and you knock the phone off the wall. You look to me like, I'm leaving now. I'm like, everything is okay, Jonathan. Like,
it's only when I'm in a situation where I have to stand and continue to exist in the plane of people who just witnessed me do something super embarrassing.
So then you have to leave.
So I have to leave. Yeah,
so
my fight or flight is like, bitch, I'm booked. I got my passport. Get on this flight. I'm no longer here.
Jonathan's contacting the CIA. He's like, I need an identity change. They're like, why? You're like, I could open the bathroom.
All I would have to say to the CIA is Sugarfish bathroom door. And they would say, I'm on the way. Okay. So
I'm excited to complain some more.
Please.
Yeah, what's going on with the price of cards?
I'm sorry? Cards?
Big Hallmark, watch your motherfucking days. It's a piece of paper, $8? Get fucked, bitch. I could have made this on Canva for free. You're capitalizing on the wrong market. Cards used to be $4 max. I'm not talking about a card with a pop-up insert or some glitter graphics or a rhinestone, okay? Big card? Figure it out. Because your days are fucking numbered, okay? I'm causing a coup on big card. And I'm starting with Hallmark.
Wow, that was a passionate plea.
I'm going to show you an example of a card that I took a picture of at a retailer that I can't mention because I'm under contracts.
Okay, I want to guess the price.
That's the point of the game.
Okay.
To describe to the audience listening on our audio only, it is actually, I want you to describe it.
Okay, cool. Okay, it is a card. It's got a boot on the front. It is in a little plastic sleeve that comes with the envelope, so I feel like that already has upped the price in my mind.
Correct.
But all it says is howdy, and it is a blue cowboy boot. It's really cute. I would consider picking it up, but there's really nothing to it.
Yeah,
It's
so
white.
this isn't like a premium, you wouldn't call this a premium card. Yes, it is packaged in the saran.
No, I could see that at a dollar store for
Okay.
less than $1.
I want to also note here, when I flipped it over, you then can see what the inside says.
Right.
And it says, in quotes, blank inside for your message.
Okay, so there's nothing. It's just a boot that says howdy
Okay.
and nothing on the inside.
What would you guess? Brand? Do you want the brand?
Yeah.
Papyrus.
Okay, so now we're talking like $6 range.
What would you guess?
$6.
$7.95.
That's not right.
Blank inside for your message.
You
So
do
I'm
the
doing the
work.
heavy lifting? I'm doing the heavy lifting here? I have to write the card for $8? You put a boot on it and it's $8? And it says howdy. Blank inside for your message. Who are we paying here?
Blank inside for your message. Wait, let's give him the finger. Ready?
Blank inside for your message.
That felt good.
Yeah, it did. And I'm gonna leave it there because this isn't something that campers haven't experienced. Campers, I need to stop. I've been yelling so much, not at you, and I hope you feel like I'm not yelling at you. There's just like a lot going on, and like I do feel a little better now. So
Yeah, it's lethargic. No, cathartic.
yeah,
That's what it meant.
Where do these card companies get off?
I don't
It's
know.
not on my dollar.
We need to go back on Microsoft Word and get those cards. I used to do this for the birthday parties I would go to. I would get the big one that folds in 4. You put a little picture on the front, whatever clip art your heart desires. Sure, use Canva, or you can go old school. Did you ever do that? And they would have the template where you fold it in half hot dog, you fold it in half hamburger style, and then it's just like a little card. Free $99. Well, you got to pay for toner and a printer and
Well, my mom,
the
every
goods.
kid's birthday party I would go to, like that was the activity before the birthday party. I think she also knew that it would be 30 minutes of silence in the house. She'd be like, Zach, you're going to Catherine's birthday. Maybe you should make her a card. And I'd be like, oh my God, get the rose art, big plastic art kit out. I'm going to start experimenting with the watercolors. Those little like
yeah.
wet things. We talked about that before.
Yeah,
What
they
were
weren't even,
those?
I don't even know.
And I'm like, literally, I'm going to draw a tree with an owl in it. And guess what? The sun's coming out the corner.
and there's gonna be me and her, and it's
there's
just
a
like,
tulip.
happy birthday.
Why is there a bear?
Who knows?
Listen, I was a woodsy kid.
Yeah, we need to get back to making our own cards, campers.
Do you think the new counselor likes the top bunk or the bottom bunk? Over.
Either way, I'm giving them my boondoggle keychain. Over.
Welcome back to Camper Crush of the Week. We are so peaceful, so tranquil, vibe switched, feeling love, feeling light. Who am I snogging? Who is just an award-winning camper? Jonathan, who is getting your crush of the week?
I have been seeing, well, now I've been fed a lot of these videos of men on those flying Hydra boards. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And these women are getting onto the boards that they hover over like the water, and they're like a jetpack, but they're in like full control and like spinning them around. And then some of them know each other, where the girl's like dancing and someone's just making a video, and other videos are like complete strangers who are like, oh, I want to go do this thing. And then they like get into it and they start dancing in the sky. And it's like the water's writing in cursive above the water, and it's just beautiful. I don't know, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. It's just so fun. But the song that they always use, it's always that Sia song. I put my arms so you can feel I am. I'm a zombie. What is that song?
I'm a watching with no man.
I don't know any of the words, but
I'm a
every single day. That video of her at Kathy's show that you showed me, please.
Unstoppable by Sia. Actually, we need to stop Sia. Sia needs to stop following Kathy Griffin around and singing a cappella. It's making me uncomfortable. We already had that one video that Lance Bass was crying in. Now there's another video of her in a big auditorium doing the exact same thing. It's just weird. It's like, you don't just do things just everywhere. You know what I mean? It's like time and place. And you did it at my birthday.
Fucking dick and cock.
No, but I know what you're talking about, and I think if you don't understand what Jonathan's talking about,
it is hard to describe. Why do I always pick? I really need to think about it before campers. I'm sorry. No, I need to start really focusing on what the fuck I'm talking about, because I get to this part when I'm like excited to talk about it, but I have to set the ground rules, which is explaining it so everyone can wrap their head around it, and I'm having a hard time doing that. So I'm sorry. I don't know. Watch it on YouTube. I'll put a video up. I don't know.
Is it a cruise excursion? It feels like you're in like downtown Barcelona. They're like, oh, do you want to pay to have this like air dance with this guy? The control is great. I'm ready now to see the other video where someone falls.
Oh my God. That video of the guy on the news. And it starts right now. And he jumps and the camera zooms out ready for this guy to jump into the sky, but he falls into the water. I cackle every time.
Yeah.
Just his voice. And it starts right now. And then they had to cut to the news anchors. Oh my God, so funny. Okay, so that's what I'm crushing on. It just gives me goosebumps. It's so, my jaw is constantly on the floor and I'm like gasping every time I'm watching it. Like I caught myself doing it today. I'm like, okay, calm down. Like it's cool, but like you don't have to be literally drooling over it.
It's really, you're right. It's very cool. I think it's cool too.
It's like hypnotic almost.
You would never do it.
Oh, no. See,
you wouldn't.
I'm not into dopamine seeking behavior like that, but I am into water sports. So what are you crushing on?
Okay. Sticky toffee pudding.
Oh.
I like sticky toffee pudding for the children, of course. Caramel and cream and wet cakes for the kids and adults. Everybody enjoys caramel.
Oh my God.
Because you can't just say, as a gay man from Massachusetts, I can't just say sticky toffee pudding. I have to put on my Professor Umbridge outfit and say sticky toffee pudding, Harry Potter, sticky toffee pudding. No, it's so good. It's just like bread pudding adjacent. I can't tell you much about it unless you've had it. Caramel, it's wet, sticky, it's toffee. And I don't even know what toffee is.
I don't know what it is either. It reminds me a lot of like a really, really, really sweet monkey bread.
Well, I don't think that, but I think there's a flavor that is I think that's the caramel.
Molasses.
Oh, molasses.
It could be the molasses.
Oh, not the molasses. Not the ballworms. No. Yeah, and I was on the hunt for a really good bread pudding. If you follow me on Instagram on Sunday, you might have seen it. But then everyone was like, go to Magnolia. And I think a lot of you were confused because they have a banana pudding, which is really good. And it is a banana bread pudding, but that's not what I was looking for. And the only way I could kind of scratch that itch was going to this place called The Smith. To spare you people who don't live in New York, it's just this like chain of really great traditional American food that everyone in this city hates on because they think it's chuggy. But I am chuggy. And I like that about me. So, but you know how people save that story and people are coming out of the woodwork saying, hey, I hate The Smith, but I love that sticky toffee pudding a lot. Campers, if you're visiting New York and you need like just a really like, okay, it's going to be a $20 burger, but it's going to be great. It's a crowd pleasing restaurant. It's a little pricey.
If you have a big crowd and you're not looking for a place that you necessarily need reservations, you might be doing some waiting. But I get it. Like you're in New York, there's a bunch of different places to go. But I feel like that will handle everyone's appetite.
Yeah, it's a crowd pleasing restaurant. Is it the best of everything you've ever had?
No, that's Bubba Gump's.
But it's okay. Well, it's still good. It's still really good. I love it. I'm going to be out here like blazing a trail for people who have to openly say they like The Smith. I don't know why people hate it, but I love their sticky toffee pudding. And a lot of people were telling me when I was like, I want a good bread pudding. Where do I go? Everyone kept saying make it. And I couldn't tell if they were saying it to be like, oh, like you can make it at home. Or they were like, hey, it's really easy. You should make it. So I don't even know how you make bread pudding.
Oh, I thought that was the name of the restaurant.
Bread pudding?
Make it?
No, people kept saying like, "Oh, you should make your own, do your own." You know what I mean? Like,
I thought that was going to be the climax of that story was like.
no, I guess I didn't really say the other side of that.
I understand what you're saying though. So maybe we should look into how to make sticky toffee pudding. We don't have
a toffee machine.
I was going to say a medieval pan.
Oh, we don't have cast iron.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, maybe a bread pudding. I want to see how you make that, but you know me, I'm not gonna get into it. I'm a custard girl, and I think that's custard adjacent. They're all kind of in that wet dessert category. I like that.
What song's been stuck in your head all week? Welcome to Camp Songs.
Welcome back to Camp Songs. Why can't we just be like normal? Why can't we just be normal? We're fucking weird. We're being like super creepy today.
Yeah, my energy is erratic. Don't put me in a car.
Should we do it? Oh my God. Don't get behind the driver's seat, please.
I'm not driving today.
We're not. We might. Well, I don't know. Anyway, Camp Song. This is the songs that have been stuck in our head all week. If you go to the show notes, as well as the description on YouTube, there is a link there for Yin's and Yin's family and Yin's ugly friends. So you can listen to on your stereo on a Friday night in. How cute. Think about that. Think about like a group of our campers with their footy pajamas on, just everyone having a glass of wine, sitting on the floor, of course, like an area rug around a big stereo that doesn't have like a great bass and one of the speakers is out, but just listening to our Camp Songs playlist. Like that's my happy place.
I will say it could be, but the way that there's no theme to our playlist, it might be kind of crazy.
It could be crazy, and that's all we need is like a crazy night.
It's like, oh, that's not on there. But
okay, well, the song that I'm adding is, it's actually dreamy. It's a little ethereal. So the song I'm adding is Catch and Release by the Silver Sun Pickups. Do you remember the Silver Sun Pickups? They're still together, but I had my iPod on scramble. Totally forgot about them.
I don't think I've ever heard of them. Should I know them before?
You know them. You know Panic Switch. I can't play it because of copyright issues, but I know a bunch of campers know. You would know the song Panic Switch. It's very much like Jennifer's Body soundtrack adjacent. Campers, I just edited that little part out, but I showed Zach a couple of the songs and he was not familiar with any of them, which is kind of shocking, but okay, campers, us who know, it's just us in the room now. But I absolutely love this song. It's completely different from any of their other songs. It was maybe 2015. I don't know. I didn't write it down. Come and see how the wind in your hair now feels differently. If that dog barks one more time, I swear to God.
Yeah, like move the dog along. He's clearly upset.
Oh, it's Scoop Marie. She's barking. She's hungry.
Well, Scoop, find a squirrel. Oh, it's that girl. Now her handler. Which camper is screaming outside the cabin right now? There is a neon sign in our window, campers. When we're recording, it says, "Recording, leave us alone." And one of you out there is trying to sell us cookies.
So I'm excited to re-listen to it, campers, if you haven't heard it, and give it a little listen. Also, the Silver Sun Pickups. I always wondered what that name meant. So I Googled it. There was a Silver Lake liquor store near the bandmate's house, and it was called Silver Sun. And before they would do a recording session, one of them would go pick up liquor. So it was the Silver Sun Pickups. Is like a little liquor run.
Silver Lake in LA?
Yes.
Fine.
Yeah, so that was my my little ditty. Anyway, what have you got on your stereo?
My song this week is I Know It Won't Work by Gracie Abrams. Truly a song that has been stuck in my head all week, all month. And I think it's time for me to admit that I do really like her music.
Is that something to be shameful of?
No,
being shamed?
I'm not being shamed by it. I just think like I am aging out of some of like the new pop girlies. Like she's only 24 and it's like I'm almost 30. So it's like how much can I relate to the music? But I think a lot of this sad music coming out, and she's a sad girl. And you guys know me. I love a sad girl song. And I think it's just like the emotions of love and heartbreak are just always going to be consistent. They're as old as time can possibly be. Part of me wants to walk away till you really listen. I hate to look in your face and know that we're feeling different. 'Cause part of me wants you back, but I know it won't work like that, huh? If you recognize her name, Gracie Abrams, yes, she is the daughter of director J.J. Abrams.
Did you know that's short for Jar Jar?
Well, that's funny because he directed a Star Wars movie. Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Abrams.
Okay. And he also did Star Trek and the show Alias and Lost. Like, he's a mega successful director. And I think she's not just a Nepo baby. I think she's really talented. She opened for Taylor Swift and Olivia Rodrigo. And she's kind of like the perfect marriage of those two. Vocally, I think, for sure. Her star is definitely rising. This song I chose is a little bit older than her newer stuff, and her newer stuff is really popping off. But this got fed to me in a Spotify algorithm, and I love it so much, and I can't stop listening to it. Yeah, she's got that like Gen Z sad girl kind of like vibe, and it's that perfect like heartbreak in your early 20s kind of vibe for her.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, it does get better. You know?
Yeah, but I think too, you kind of going back to you saying you feel like you're aging out of listening to that. I don't think that that's fair. I feel like we kind of see that and feel that specifically because of TikTok and the people who are making videos based on that. And like, you know, I get it. I don't want to go to an Olivia Rodrigo concert because I know what everybody there is going to be like. Like when my brother said he wanted to go, I was like, absolutely not. But that doesn't mean that you can't listen to the music and enjoy the music without feeling like you're too old for it. You know, I mean, their music will mature, but you know, it can be for everybody.
I think what I'm saying is like the way that I look at love at my age compared to her age is different because I do have that like level. I think when you're younger, I think you do feel like your heartbreak is permanent, and I think that every heartbreak feels like that, right? But I think as you get older, you become stronger, and maybe that's like the key to all of it. It's like life doesn't ever get easier, you just get stronger.
Oh my God, wait, that was so beautiful, because it really does feel like, you know, like the sun isn't going to come up the next day, and then it does.
The only thing that can teach you that is just truly life experience or listening to the Cam Counselors podcast. And that's all we have for you today. This was a mega intense episode. So if your eardrums are ringing or you're feeling like crazy, like maybe don't get behind the wheel.
Maybe like, you've been driving this whole time. Yeah. Are you still with us?
Hello, or did you drive into the side of a Marshall's? I would love it, and we'll read it for our morning announcements if that's the case. No, I'm just joking. No. Thank you for being here. And if you love the show, please like and subscribe, rate 5 stars, watch it on YouTube, subscribe there, share a podcast clip, follow us on TikTok or Instagram, or don't do any of it and just come down to the mess hall for nail polish night. We're going to have wine and acrylics, and we're going to do gel and dip. And if you're good, we'll give you a Zin. Zins for the bad campers in the back.
But we only have one, so we're going to pass it around.
That's all you need. It gets a little intense.
Absolutely.
I'm feeling lightheaded.
Disgusting. Ugh. If you have a story you want us to read, you can send us an email at camcounselorspodcast.com or camcounselorspod@gmail.com, and we might just read it on the show.
And with that being said, lights out, campers.